A lot of Jet fans are crying the river right now. They're crying the river because they're not getting Trevor Lawrence. I am a Jet fan that could sit back and say, you know what? When the Jets beat the Rams last week, I was like, oh, we're going to lose Trevor Lawrence. They screwed up again. But sitting back and realizing what the game is built on, it's built in the trenches, offensive line and defensive lines. That's what wins championships in the long run. We have seen teams over the years win it with really second-tier quarterbacks, not top-tier generational type of quarterbacks. When you look at the Jets right now, they're drafting at number 2. No question, they're going to be drafting at number 2. If you were the coach of the team or you were the GM of the team, what would you do? Now that you have Sam Darnold, you still think that he could be not a generational type of quarterback, but a great quarterback in this league if you put the right coach around him. Do you decide to go and draft a guy like Justin Fields or a Wilson, or do you draft the offensive line talent in Sewell and build around the offensive line where any quarterback could stand in that pocket and throw the ball? What would you do if you were running that team in that organization?
How old is Wilson?
Zach Wilson is 23, 24 years old.
Okay. And then, Justin Fields is a younger guy. Trevor Lawrence, he's a younger guy. Sam Darnold is still really young in this league. I think
fourth youngest quarterback in the NFL.
What is he, 23, 24?
23, going to be 24.
Yeah, he's still young, man. I mean, and to me, Sewell's one of the best linemen to come out the draft in the last 2 to 3 years, if not the best. Just looking at his tape, he's a guy that, to me, he probably could have been the best lineman in the draft last year as well. You pick a guy up like that, and you just really focus on developing guys and really getting your O-line together, any quarterback can make plays at that point. You're getting, 5-6 seconds in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? So on top of that, if you guys solidify the receiving core, maybe get another good tight end. I think the Jets do got another first-round pick, right?
Yeah, they got 2 first-round draft picks this year, 2 first-round draft picks next year. They have 2 second rounds and possibly 3 third rounds this year and 2 fourth rounds. So there's that.
Yeah, y'all can do a lot. Y'all can definitely build up that receiving core, get another good tight end, just someone that can really be that blocking down, kind of move the F back as well, just kind of throwing packages together, depending on, how that coaching staff looks. Because I know y'all coach kind of, he out of there regardless of anything.
Thank God. I mean, what do you want me to jump off a bridge or something? I mean, I'd rather tie a brick to my leg and sink to the bottom of the ocean. I mean, watching this guy, his googly eyes, TikTok, whatever the hell you call him. They call him a quarterback guru. He couldn't coach a peewee football team. He's terrible, absolutely horrendous. You will never see Adam Gase, a head coach of an NFL team, ever again. I'll be surprised if you ever see him in the NFL again as an offensive coordinator. He's horrendous, absolutely horrendous.
Man, I feel like sometimes, there are situations we don't really know about. The Jets have talent, and the fact that he couldn't really do too much with the talent they have, it speaks volumes. But it was a hard gig for a lot of guys, to come into that situation. It would have been a hard gig. But y'all went 0-13 for a second. That's coaching.
They were
right there. Once you get to
0-14.
Once you get to that, that's coaching. That's not talent anymore. That is, if you can't put enough pieces together to win a game, man.
It was embarrassing. He's an embarrassment to not only coaches, to anybody that coaches in professional sports. He is absolutely horrendous. To me, he should have been fired a long time ago. I would have, if I was running the team, I would have pulled his pants down and kicked him in the ass outside the door. That's why he is an absolute disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. And for anybody to think that Adam Gase should get another job somewhere in college or Division III, Division II, well, I'll tell you this right now. I'd rather ride a freaking orca whale, okay? That's what I think.
I've been hearing talks. Y'all looking at Harbaugh.
Yes, and I think it's a good move. And I've been saying this. Anybody that knows me, and Speedy will tell you this, I've been saying this for months. The guy that if you're going to keep Sam Darnold, the guy that I would bring in is Jim Harbaugh. And I know everybody's going to say he didn't do anything very well with some of the young quarterbacks in Michigan. That's fine. Great. His recruiting classes were great. They never saw it. He is not a college coach. He is an NFL coach. He's an NFL style coach. You saw what he did with Alex Smith. You've seen what he did with Colin Kaepernick. As soon as Jim Harbaugh went to Michigan, where is Colin Kaepernick? Colin Kaepernick, the only thing you remember is him kneeling down to the national anthem. You don't even remember anything Colin Kaepernick did. And then you think of Alex Smith. Alex Smith changed as a quarterback when he was there. He became a great quarterback. When he went to Kansas City, he just solidified himself as a good quarterback in the NFL. So To me, Jim Harbaugh would definitely be a guy that the Jets have to talk to and see if Jim Harbaugh, if he gives a good speech or a good introduction to what he thinks Sam Darnold could be. I would absolutely bring Jim Harbaugh in. I know a lot of people don't like it and they don't like the signing. Jim Harbaugh is way better than Adam Gase. Anybody and their mother, a dead fish would be better than Adam Gase. Okay, so
Jim Harbaugh he's a great coach. You know, he really understands the game. I think the thing that is hard for a coach like that to come from an NFL where guys it's really a business type thing. You know, the NFL is business. You're putting guys in positions to win games. I think college, you have to have a little more of a family feel to it because, you know, you are staying with these guys for 4 years or so. You know, the transfer portal does make things different, but it's definitely a lot more of a build just because you have to really recruit. You have to do all these things where he wouldn't have to do that, you know, when he was with the 49ers.
Two-part question here, one of which comes from our fans and one of our hosts who's a big Wisconsin fan. What are your impressions of what you've seen of Graham Mertz so far in the games you've watched? And also, what are your impressions of some of the defensive players, whether it's the recruits that you're going to be with or also just players who are playing this year that you might be playing with in the future?
Okay, so I think Graham is a good quarterback. I think Graham, it's been tough being that he didn't have really anyone to throw to. The first 2 games he had, you know, his guys, you know, the core receivers. That next, we have 3-4 games since then.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had Kendrick Pryor, Danny Davis. You know, he's had Ferguson, Jake Ferguson, but besides that, it's hard to throw the ball when you don't really have anyone to throw to. But next year, you know, with COVID hopefully being shut down and everybody's, you know, kind of back to a sense of normalcy, and also, you know, Kendrick Pryor coming back, and then the receivers in my class. He should have people to throw to, and he's always going to have a great offensive line. He's at the University of Wisconsin. You know, that's what we breed. And as far as defensive players, you know, there's some great talent on that team. You know, you look at Nick Herbig, the freshman outside linebacker from Hawaii. He's been balling out for us. You look at the linebacker core, which has been outstanding. And defensively, you know, in the back end, you know, with Eric Burrell leaving, with Scott Nelson leaving, Caesar Williams, there's going to be, you know, room for guys to come in and make plays. And I would be one of those guys, you know, just we're going to be a young group, but we got a lot of talent. And then size wise, you know, we are of the bigger of the DBs in the Big Ten.
I will tell you this, Al. My friend Eric Martini, who keeps writing over here, Zach Wilson, let's go, Zach Wilson. And you will say it. You will say it just pretty strategically from all the quarterbacks that you've seen that are coming out of this year's draft. Zach Wilson could be a successful quarterback in the NFL if he sits back for a year or two behind a quarterback and figures the game out, the speed of the game. You cannot bring Zach Wilson in like you can with Justin Fields or like you can with Trevor Lawrence and expect him to figure things out right off the bat. I do not take a chance drafting at number 2, drafting Zach Wilson when you can solidify your offensive line with Sewell and really build from the trenches, something that the Jets have not done. The last time the Jets did it, Mike Tannenbaum with Nick Mangold and DeBrickashaw Ferguson. That is the way to go. If the Jets are a smart organization and if Joe Douglas knows the game like he says he does, and I believe he does, you go and you build through the trenches. I think this would be the best move for the New York Jets. Zach Wilson would not be a good move. If Zach Wilson falls to the Jets at 22, 23, yeah, then I would draft him as my late round, first round draft pick. Take a chance with him. Let him sit behind Sam for a year. And if he wins out the job, Sam, you trade. Or you decide to let go of Sam. That's the way you go, and no harm, no foul, and you got your starting quarterback, and you have the 2 offensive beasts of men on both sides of the ball. You have Mekhi Beckham on one side, that you saw what he did to Aaron Donald. You saw what he did to Myles Garrett the other day. You saw what he did. He was throwing them around.
What did he give up, 1 sack to Myles Garrett?
1 sack, and he was and Myles Garrett was lined up to him the whole game. I think the Browns were trying to show the Jets that we're still going to beast on this guy. It doesn't matter who's over there in front of him. And boy, oh boy, if you watch the clips of that show, Myles Garrett got tossed around. He got tossed around the whole game. Mekhi Beckham gave up 1 sack, and that's because he gave up on the play when he went all the way around him. Okay, so I think this. You put Sewell on the other side. What how are you going to get to him on the edges? How are you going to get to a quarterback on the edges? You're going to have to go in the interior, and you put Font in the middle of the interior, and you bring in like the Patriots guard or somebody like that with all the money that you have. Nobody's going to get to Sam. Nobody. And then me, you, and anybody, that baby could throw in the pocket and score touchdowns. I mean,
that's his game though. At USC, Sam was sitting in the pocket and letting the ball fly. You know, we've seen in that Pac-12 style of play, if Sam has time to make plays, he can. You know, and although the NFL game speed is faster, he's been in the league for 3 years now. He understands league speed. So, you know, for me, it's like if you put those pieces with him, there's no reason why Sam Darnold couldn't make plays and couldn't be a playoff contending type quarterback coming out the AFC East.
Okay, so one more question for me, and I'm going to let you go because I know you can't wait to get ready at the end of January, to go over there to Wisconsin, play for the Badgers. Listen, I love you as a person, but the fact that you're going to play for the Badgers, it really upsets me. It really does. I mean, Florida State Seminole or maybe somebody else. I mean, you're going to Wisconsin. I'm not a big fan of them, but I'm going to.
I mean, you know, we got a great Jet who's our coach though. My defensive coordinator is Jim Leonard, and with Rex Ryan, he was a ball player, man. So I felt like with him, if I can get coached from him, it should make me an NFL defensive back.
You're going to be great, and I can't wait to come to your draft party. We're going to have fun. Me and your father are going to tube right down whatever mountain he wants to drive right down when you get drafted in the first round, because I think you're going to be great, man. I really do. I think your personality sells to the fan. I think any Wisconsin fan that loves the Badgers are going to love you as a person, because I think your personality, your smile, and who you are as a person, you're a good kid. I think you're going to grow in the position. You're going to be a very successful cornerback. So before we let you go, tell us something this year that stood out to you about watching your Wisconsin Badgers. What stood out to you the most moving into 2021 and the opportunity of you being a freshman and going to play for the Badgers?
Well, you know, since I am a defensive player, we have a top 5 defense in the country. Almost any category we play defense, and that's attributed to guys like Jim Leonard, you know, coaches that really care about the program and players buying in. So me coming into a program like that, where in high school I've been in some great programs where I think last year we gave up 52 points in 14 games. This year when we won state, we gave up, I think, 21. You know, we don't get scored on, and I love that mindset of you're gonna have to shut down our offense to beat us. Like, we're gonna have to not be able to score at all for y'all to beat us. You know, I can't wait, man. Just to get that stood out to me the most about Wisconsin, just being that we can lock up pretty much anybody in the country. You know, and shoot, I can't wait. I think my junior year we play Alabama at home, so yeah, I can't wait to see them
kick their asses. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, got to, man.
You better. You tie Nick Saban up and drop him in a box or something. Do something to keep him off the field. I mean, that team, I can't stand watching them win national titles. Them and Clemson are getting me sick to my stomach. I want to see a new national title, new national champion. Please, Ohio State, knock off Clemson, and let's see Justin Fields go into Alabama or play Alabama and knock them off. And I would love to see. There's so much controversy. If somehow Justin Fields knocks off Clemson and then goes into Alabama and knocks off Alabama, you could be talking about maybe Justin Fields going number 1 if he surprises the world and knocks off the 2 powerhouses. I could see that.
He's playing good defense. He's playing great defenses. If he came in and did that, I mean, you have to look at it again. You know.
Absolutely. Al, tell the fans how they can find you on social media.
Man, you can go to my Instagram at Al_Ashford, Twitter Ashford lowercase I 3 times, and man, I'm happy to be on. I appreciate y'all. Go check out WWSRN, Worldwide Sports Radio Network. My guy Speedy, everybody, man, I can't wait, man. I'm happy.
Well, we're going to get you on once you're in Wisconsin. Maybe we'll get you live in the locker rooms of some of your crazy teammates over there. I don't want to see you guys do whatever you do in the locker room. I don't want to do the private life, but maybe get you guys and it's some of the crazy personalities that you are. I would love to get you on. I'm happy that you're a fan of the show and the network. I'm a fan of you, man. I want you to be successful no matter if you're playing for Wisconsin or not. So
I appreciate it, man. Definitely go hit you when we get that draft party.
Natural. Come on, man. I'm gonna be the life of the party, man. If you want me to be your agent, I'll get you the most money too, man. So don't worry about that. I can do it all, baby. I could do it all, baby. And there's some big things going on with our network. So if I call you, I might be able to get you on a very big a very big radio station out here in New York, very well known. We're working on something very, very soon. So I'd love to get you on and talk a little football with you.
Oh, awesome, man. I appreciate it.